To Season 8 at the start of the 2014 season.
It's cold for the start of soccer season in Toronto, but the fever's coming. The most exalted prize in soccer is up for grabs soon in Brazil.
Let's go, boys! Come on, keep it fresh, keep it fresh!
Canada didn't make the cut to compete, but one Canadian will help decide who hoists that cup.
1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, I can hear it.
Joe Fletcher, assistant ref, the only Canadian official chosen for the World Cup. He's 38 from St. Catharines, Ontario, and pumped.
Actually, I'll do better when the game is moving. It's like, okay, I want to start moving again. It's getting cold.
And now, let's hear some noise for Toronto FC as they take to the field for a warm-up.
It's taken 25 years to get this far, to be the guy fans love to hate.
Sometimes in some countries you get soccer referees being chased right out of the stadium by fans who are unhappy.
They have to have a very tough personality to take the kind of barbs that they would take.
He is tough, also fair-minded, driven, and funny, which has to help.
I've been yelled at in multiple languages. Whether I'm right or wrong, I know they're going to boo. It's part of the atmosphere of it. They're just cheering for their team. I'm good with it.
Have you ever felt threatened?
On a match, never. The closest thing was probably outside of here, where an international game where objects start getting projectile thrown and that kind of stuff. Where, oddly enough, they have got guys with riot shields and stuff who are in and around you to make sure everything's fine. But
what were they throwing?
Well, one thing was a chicken wing bone. That was kind of one of the funnier things. It kind of just bounced and landed by my feet, and I didn't know if I was more upset about the fact that a guy threw a chicken wing or the fact that he didn't finish the chicken wing. I really don't know.
Fletcher earned his stripes on this turf where he trains almost daily. To be World Cup standard, he has to run 40 meters in under 6 seconds. He clocks 5.
I got a lot of grief from a lot of coaches here.
Joe played soccer as a teenager in Niagara Falls and then discovered refereeing paid better than a paper route. So he switched to calling games.
They started off saying, well, if you move up to a higher level, you can do better games. And I was like, oh, okay, and you get paid more for them. So I was like, oh, this is a win-win. Win-win, all right, I'll go for that. And then somewhere along the lines, it stopped caring about what they were going to pay me, and it became goal-oriented. It's like, okay, now I want to get an international badge.
Part-time referee's pay doesn't feed a family, so his other job, not as much fun, taxes.
2:30.
Cool, thanks.
He's a partner in a chartered accounting firm, and when he's not crunching numbers, FIFA keeps a Big Brother-type watch on his fitness.
So the watch basically picks up my heart rate from the strap and monitor.
FIFA has us send in a training log in Excel that goes along with our heart rate data, and that gets submitted once a month.
Sure we couldn't figure out something better to do at 10 o'clock at night? So my maximum heart rate's 205. So if at any point in time my heart rate gets as high as 205 and I'm having to work at its maximum intensity to pass the test, they're going to get the impression that my aerobic capacity isn't where it should be.
Remember, I have longer legs than you. That doesn't mean you run fast. No. Just because you do. I just do run fast. That's right.
Refs at the top of their game have to keep pace with pro players who train 4 to 5 times a week.
20.
A lineman like Joe will sprint about 6 kilometers during a game. Stop, start. Getting close enough to the ball to make the right call is critical. A really bad call can stall your career.
Lampard! Did it go in? No, say the officials.
At the last World Cup, England scored on Germany, but the ref ruled the ball didn't cross the line.
Have you ever seen anything like that? I mean,
Never.
We've gone from the ridiculous to the even more ridiculous.
That's led to goal line technology at this World Cup. For the first time, 14 cameras trained on that goal. The refs will be alerted on their watches.
Have you made bad calls?
On a game? Absolutely.
You remember any?
Plenty of them. Actually, to be honest with you, I can almost remember every mistake I've made on a field in great detail as compared to the ones that I got right.
These days, the refs become a fan's punch bag. Barking at the ref, part of the culture. But it's getting vicious. An assistant ref hit with a flare in a Premier League game. A shoe hurled at another. A fan all juiced up to fight. In Utah last year, a ref died after a 17-year-old goalkeeper punched him in the face. But the most barbaric attack last year in Brazil. After a ref stabbed a player, a gang retaliated, dismembering the ref's body, decapitating him. So gruesome, we can't show you.
I heard the story and I was like, wow, that's I still went out and trained the next day.
Hey, boo. Hey. Hey, mister. Careful, I'm soaked.
Between games away, training, and work, there's never enough time for the family.
Started at, what, 4:30 in Orlando? Made it home.
But according to his wife, Kathy, this was the dream. She drove it.
I can remember like watching when he was doing, young kids reffing. So it started out as this joke, one day you're going to go to the World Cup, and now like it's here, and it's pretty spectacular. It's pretty amazing.
And everybody went to the gym.
We're so proud of him. The kids are proud of him. They run around, and instead of wanting to be like little soccer players, they just want to be refs, just like Dad. Bear wants more.
6 weeks in Brazil will be the longest he's been away, and they'll follow his adventure on TV. But which game? Well, to avoid any perception of match fixing, even Joe won't know till 72 hours before the game.
Okay. All right. Enjoy your run.
Yep.
Now it's 10 p.m. Time to train.
Good job.
Grab my back here.
You must be proud of yourself.
I'm happy. Now it's got to go there and got to do well, because I want to represent myself well, my team well, my country well, and still work to do when I get there. So.
For you, when you walk on that big field in Brazil, do you get shivers thinking about it, or are you just focused?
That I do. Because that's probably one of my favorite parts. It's like the organization before the chaos of the match starts, is the march out, and all eyes are on you, and it's just kind of a moment to stand there. Wow, I'm really in the World Cup. This is really cool. Someone's picked me for this, and then they'll break, they'll shake hands. All right, back to work.
Really? You're kidding me, right?
It'll be a long way from home pitch. Susan Ormiston, CBC News, St. Catharines.